Hello, welcome to Pop Along RC, the RC car channel dedicated to RC car racing, and here we do like a little bit of F1 action. This weekend it was the British Grand Prix, and it was great to see Lewis Hamilton take the win. And during the Grand Prix I decided it might be a good idea to build myself an F1 car, and here it is. So this here is the Tamiya F104 Pro version 2, and it's a cracking little car. So let's take a look at how the build went. Here it is then, my Tamiya F104. So, first thing we've got over this side is we've got the main shell, little driver in there, and there is, just down here, the helmet that needs to go in. So, painting wise, I need to sort out what I'm going to do with the figure on the inside there. So, quite looking forward to painting this actually. With regards colour scheme, not totally sure just yet what I'm going to go with. The thing is, the stickers that came with the set, if I just grab them from over here, we have got the wing stickers, which are these ones here, in orange. And then we've got the shell stickers, which are in blue. And orange and blue don't really go well together, so I'm not sure what I'm going to do. Might do pop along livery. I might go with something a little bit more abstract. I might try and find a theme that I could follow. Who knows? So we have got our wheels here, and we also have the tyres there in a bag. So it's worth noting, this comes with rubber tyres. So here you can see that we've got the foam inserts that go inside the tyres. So we have tyres and foam inserts. So hopefully I'll be getting some foam tyres shortly to put on this car, and I'll be testing out the rubber foam versus the foams indoors to see which one works best. Then here it is, the TRF oil filled shock, which runs in the centre of the car. I'm actually interested, once this is built, I'm going to measure it up against this shock here. Now, this shock is a Yeah Racing shock, which I have fitted to a second-hand Tamiya F103. So if the two shocks are very similar, it might be that I'll get another Yeah Racing shock for my Tyrrell 6-wheeler. And like I say, we've got the main chassis and the rear pod. There really isn't much to this car at all. The build is going well so far. Obviously, I've got the rear pod on. The rear drive shaft is in there. The next thing though is actually fitting a motor. So, choices that we have. Over the years, I have acquired a motor. Obviously, when we are running the Iconic Cup this year for the stock class, it's the Core 21. In the minis, I'm running the Core 15, which is slightly faster. Most of the Tamiya cars, like the TTA ones, come with a torque tune motor as standard. But the slower motors that you can get hold of are these ones. And these are the Mabuchi, just plain silver can. I think they work out to be about a 27 turn. And I have got over here a brand new one, because normally when I get these motors, they go in this box here, and don't tend to use them because I upgrade to the Core 21. But what I've heard with the F1 cars is they are extremely quick, especially if I'm intending to run them indoors on carpet. So I am going to opt for a Mabuchi motor, which is a 540, approximately 27 turn silver can. What I don't want though is I don't want these connectors. I am going to basically put in this ESC, which again comes with many of the Tamiyas these days. I'm going to shorten this lead because I don't need it to be quite that long. And then these two, rather than plugging them in to the motor with these connectors here, I am going to solder it straight onto the motor. So let's get that done now. For this next step, when it comes to fitting the servo, I do have a slight issue with this. I'm quite nervous. I actually need to, where it's got these shaded areas, we need to cut those off. It says remove shaded sections. So the way this actually fits into the car, it doesn't need to have these mounts. So it has got a slightly different mounting system. Servo we've got here, favourite on the channel, it is at ET2060. I can't believe I've got to chop it up. Needs to be done though, needs to be done. As you can see, I have filed off the top and bottom of the servo, so that'll fit in there nicely. Right, top deck is on. It is looking a little bit messy because I've got wires all over the place. Reason being, obviously, as you saw earlier, I've soldered my motor in, which means this is all attached. But there's a little plate here, which I will be sticking an ESC onto. The receiver goes on the other side, and these bits pivot to allow you to slide your battery in here, and then you squeeze them back. And that is where the battery holds. Starting to take shape now. What we're looking at doing next is the front arm. So at the moment, this is all pretty locked up. But what we're going to do is we're going to put the front arms on. Front arms look a little bit like this. Okay, and the way they work is they have the smooth side facing up. So have the smooth side facing up, you've got ridges on the bottom, and these two holes here go over these two ball joints, so they pop in place, and then this part out here is where the suspension comes, which is going to allow this bit here to flex. So as you can see, that is now on there. When I first put it in place and started pushing, I was thinking that's not going to go, but it is a tight squeeze, but they definitely go on. Then what we do is we just top them off with screws so they can't pop back off again. And then this is where the spring mechanism goes. Okay, car is now built. All I've got to do is the oil-filled shock that's going to go in here. I've just checked all the electrics are working, the motor's working. That is the car done. So what I'm going to do next, once I've built the shock to go in here, I'm going to cut down these wires, make them look a little bit tidier, work out exactly where I want to run the cables. What was interesting actually with this kit is the gearing. Obviously, if you're familiar with Tamiya, you'll know that they run a 0.6 DP, whereas this, I think it's a 64 DP looking at it. So it's a much finer, much smoother to run. When it comes to putting a servo in, I've gone with E-tronics, which is one of my sort of go-to servos. I trust them, and they're good value. So I've got an E-tronics servo in there. Did pay me a little bit because you buy these servos and the first thing you have to do is chop parts off of it for it to fit into this car, but it's in there now, and I don't intend to take it out, so that is fixed for this car. Radio wise, I have got a SR3100 Spectrum receiver in here, and I will be linking this up with some of my other Spectrum radios. So I've actually got the DX3R Pro, or I've got my rugged radio, which is kind of my radio of choice at the moment. Battery wise, I am going to be running the long stick packs. I know that some people run shorty packs on these. There is an option of running a shorty pack, and then what you can do is you can place the servo and receiver underneath here at the front. So there are a few mods that I've seen people do on these cars. I'm sticking with the stick pack down the middle for now. Actually, working through this entire build, it went together really nicely. I haven't yet glued the tyres, and I intend to run this car indoors, and I think rubber or foam tyres can be used. Most people at the Iconic Cup running in the Formula 1 class there tend to be running foam. So I've actually ordered myself a set of foams for this in the hope that I can get it out and get it on the track sooner rather than later. With regards to the shell, I went with quite a simple design. I was going to do the pop along livery where we go red, orange, yellow through to white. However, I opted for this red and white option and the Coca-Cola stickers. Thought I'd give it a nice Coca-Cola theme. As for the driver, I actually sprayed that on the inside in white, as you can see there, and then I've coloured it in on the outside using a Sharpie, which means I was able to do all of the buckles for the seat belts, and I think it's come out okay. Again, on the helmet, that was done with Sharpies and a couple of little techniques there to make it look like there's a reflection on the visor. So all in all, really happy with how this has come out. There we go. So I'm really pleased with how this car has come out, but this is just the first F1 car that I have in my collection. The second one, which I'm yet to build, is this one here, and this is the F103 six-wheeler chassis, the Tyrrell P34.